So talk about pacing, because that's always an interesting one, right? You talk about getting out fast, getting out slow.
Yes. Don't go out too fast. So let me tell you a story about how, okay, so there is an actual reason for this. So a couple years ago, I was like extremely remotely a very small chance, tiny baby chance that I could possibly qualify for the Olympic trials. But I knew this is it. Like if this is probably the only chance I ever have. So I went out really fast. I ran a 1:21 half marathon.
Oh my gosh, that's
and
crazy.
that was my PR in the marathon by 3 minutes, half marathon. And I was like, oh, I just got a PR. And then I was like, oh no, I'm starting to feel really bad. So, I mean, I needed to do it because I knew that if I didn't try it, I'd be upset with myself. But I was in so much pain. And I was in really good shape too. So please don't go out too fast. Please stick to the pace that you think you're supposed to be going and stick with it. You're going to feel like you're almost walking the first mile because you're going to have so much adrenaline and everything's going to be all excited. But try not to go up too fast the first mile. It's extremely easy to do that because everyone else is going too fast. It's okay if you're getting passed in the first mile. It's not a big deal. You're going to pass all those people in a few miles. So just be patient and know your pace and stick to it.
Yeah. The other thing that I found at the expo, which was one of I loved it, is the tattoos that you put on your arm. Yes. It's like a pacing tattoo. That was
or there's a marathonpaceband.com. If you're really anal like me and want to pretend like I want a pace band for 2:54, like some
exact time,
whatever time, because you're just whatever you were doing. So so if you want some specific time, you can type in the exact time that you want and type it into the marathonpaceband.com and it'll print an exact one. Or you can get like the tattoos at the expo have 3 hours, 3:30, 4 hours, like kind of like some big
every 15 minutes or so they have a pacing, and it's the minute. It's a 9 minute, it's a 9.5.
Oh, okay, yeah.
9, it's 7, and you can put it on your arm, and it helps you because you forget that the marathon starts, the clock starts, and when you get up to the clock, it's
correct.
Not the clock for you, it's the clock for the very first person who started.
Only the clock for the Kenyans are leading the race.
Yes.
So it's not for even if you're pretty far up, the clock is useless. So to have your own time and your own pace is very necessary.
Yeah, it helps, and to know. Otherwise, you're doing math, and at that point, at least at the 5 hour mark for me, I wasn't doing a lot of highly level math. I was worried about just
no one wants to do math about 20. So just try to you can have your pace so you can just look at it much better.
Which is really nice. Yeah. And some people do walk runs, and if you are a walk run person, that's very common.
There are many walk run runners on this team. I've suggested to at least 20 people to do walk run this year. So I think a lot of people are doing walk run for their training plan. So they already know their breaks. So it's even more important to have the clock going for you.
Yeah. So know what that looks like. The other pace that I learned from practicing was what I called my go forever pace, which is my pace that I could just go forever. And forever is a little long when you think about marathon, but it was a pace that I felt like I never had to walk. I could just keep plodding along. And then I knew that was my go forever pace. And it was my, if I felt bad or if I was, slowing down, I knew that would be my pace. And then I could tell whether I would finish on time or what I would do. And I knew that I could make it. So for me, and for those out there, I ran a 6:15 and then a 5:45. So
man, a half an hour PR. Half an hour PR. So awesome.
So 6:15 the first one and 5:45 the second. So I had injured on the second one, so I was looking for a little bit better, but that's all right.
Yeah.
And people are out there walk running. People are out there, doing different things. It was so important to know this is the race I will run, and not the guy next to me or not the person that was on my team that I really enjoyed running with. It's like you meet up with people and you move on. You meet up with people and you move on.
Yes.
Or people meet up with you and they move on. So
yeah. Like I know I'm going to plan to run with some people, but there's no way I'm probably staying with them the whole race, and that's just fine. Whenever it's time to break, it's time to break, and that's everyone should be at peace with. That's how marathons go. So
It's really
yeah.
important. Yeah, it's really, really important. And some people just walk the water stations and say that's a great time to walk. Trying to run at a water station, if you're not trying for a PR or something, it's kind of a recipe for wearing the Gatorade or wearing the water. So
yes, and I'm sure if you want to practice, so like I've spent a lot of time practicing consuming water while running, so I don't have to stop at water stations. But it's there's, and I can send this in. There's so many ideas for the emails. There's a tippy water strategy to where you pinch the cup and then you do this, and it works. It's very effective.
so you can keep moving.
Although by mile 21 you're wearing Gatorade anyway, but you'll be able to consume enough fluid to continue. So
okay.